league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action,
it's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
They'll run for the first time with Freeman. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Freeman a first down and more. 31 yards there and a first down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. On second down now, it's Freeman, and he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes. We got this.
ready up. 33, check back 33. Watch the run, watch the run. Let's go.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Right, and that's complete. And I think the ball's out. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Vikings. Saquon Barkley, his 19th touchdown now of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym, preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Let's go.
Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early. If there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
That's complete to his tight end, Seals Jones. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players who somehow came back to football. That's really... Good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. Fourth and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
Good blocking there. It'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it. It's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through. I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. Boy, some big runs here, Charles, already in this first quarter.
Yeah, if the lanes are there, go ahead and exploit them. But what I like the most, how decisive he is, putting his foot in the ground and going.
And they'll get this down to the 10. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger. Set
now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Check right.
On the counter, Devontae Freeman. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and break it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Minnesota. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. They'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot, and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction, then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Eluding the pressure right. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Lobo. Watch the run. Get it.
They'll set up the throw. This is caught. It's an 11-yard pickup. Thought they'd run it on 3rd and 1. Not the case.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flex start.
Let's go, baby. TTh3sup3rb3ast's. You got black man. You got to go.
Well, he challenged the play, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point, because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. On 1st and 10, McGee, man open. That's Calvin Ridley. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Calvin Ridley, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road.
Not only to calm themselves, but maybe tamp down the crowd a little bit, because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very easily, but instead, the calming drive, now they have a little bit more confidence. Okay, we're back in it. All right, we're ready to go. That was impressive.
And the defense now needs to reciprocate. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's in his own 2nd quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. But prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried a stress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
He's got good size. We know he's tough to bring down running the ball. That also carries over to the passing game like we saw there.
And at his size, how'd you like to try and stop him on that angle route? Him coming out of the backfield, breaking sharply, catching the football. It's going to take a lot more than one guy, most likely, to bring him down. That was a nice game.
He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Here's a 2nd and 7. He goes underneath to Freeman. It's a gain of 5, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. Clock running, and the Falcons moving with a sense of urgency. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Looking downfield for Godwin. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. They'll run it. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
2nd and 2. Flush to his right. And this one complete to Smith. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
70, Indy. Hey, high 7, get it.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Well, the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. They'll set up to throw. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now back to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. The intended target was Chris Godwin, and it's 3rd down.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Chris Godwin, as the first half is winding down, and the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off the squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Heading back onto the field, here's a look at Devontae Freeman now. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. McGee. It's caught. Jones. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Back to throw. McGee. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. A big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. It's been an easy day for them.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Recon, 132 fighter. 5.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. There goes a deep ball, end zone, and that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Now Saquon Barkley.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's second down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against the zone before the next guy can get there?
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. From 19 yards away. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Now for the point after.
You know, in golf, they often talk about playing the course and not worrying about what the other players are doing, what their scores are. That's essentially what we're seeing from this offense. They're just having fun and doing what they feel like doing today.
A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's polished off by a Viking score. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. On second down, Freeman. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. McGee. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? You go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
That's what he's done here in this one so far. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Going for it all. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take it. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Extra point right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Off the bootleg. McGee nowhere to escape, and he goes down. I don't care if you're taking it in round 1, you're undrafted, whatever. As a rookie quarterback in this league, you're going to have games where you face adversity like this.
Lessons. All the time you're going to face these lessons. The key for this guy is will he be able to bounce back in the next one? Because right now, this has not been his game.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Back to throw. McGee, and he's going to go down again.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. The Falcons send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's pulled in at the 32. 34 yards on the return. But for a moment, looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run with Barkley. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Complete. Smith has it. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Herb Smith Jr. with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Point after here coming up. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Freeman again. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. From the gun on 3rd down, McGee. And he finds Seals Jones complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A gain of 19 and picking up the 1st. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 28.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field, and now what he's trying to do.
Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley. Picked off by Mike Hughes. It's a foot race. 30. 10. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
On first down, McGee nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. 2nd and 15. He'll find his tight end, Seals Jones.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he's got his target. That's more. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 40. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. From the gun, McGee. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. In the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. Bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And the Falcons grab it. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, it pays off.
And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about intimidating teams, using force, right, beating them to the punch. In this case, they're talking about creating turnovers. That's all they preach, all game long, all practice long, every meeting. Get the football. That's what they want.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. 2nd and 5. McKinnon here, it's complete. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. Operating from the gun, McGee. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Looking to throw, McGee. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. And this is caught. Well, they get 1 back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. So a nice touchdown pass for the rookie there. And, you know, as they go down the stretch, look, they're not a playoff team. This is just confidence building and growth time for him, right?
Yeah, it's a game within the game, isn't it? Because every team wants to win all games on their schedule. But the development of this rookie quarterback is paramount for this team. So you're exactly right. Every rep, doesn't matter what the game, what the situation, what the score, valuable for him, valuable for his team as they look towards next year.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And heading back out there now, the Falcons defense here. And this is an afternoon that they're going to want to forget pretty quickly.
And that's going to be hard for them to do because they still have to go watch film. And so someone's going to point out all the errors, but you're exactly right.
And nothing but daylight ahead. The 20, 10, and they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So what was already a game to remember becomes even more so as that touchdown run, a lengthy one, takes him over 200 yards now for the game.
And I love the fact that to get over 200, it took a pretty good sprint, didn't it? I mean, a lot of times you get 1 or 2 yards and oh, he's over 200 yards. But that... really put an exclamation point on the game he's having. Fantastic. A lot of fun to watch.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. 1 play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss. And they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. The Falcons send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. This is taken at the 23. That's it, baby. We're going to work. The Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.